Hi there. Today I have a question from a student who says, I'm having issues figuring out how to cite academic journals I found using the school library. I tried going to the pages that originally posted them, but cannot find the full articles there. Or do I just cite the PDF I get from the library? So here's a couple answers to this question. If I go back if I go to the school library, I look at the database, I look in my original search. Uh, uh, First of all, I can try to search if I'm going back to something that I had looked at before and I don't have a real easy way to get back to it. I can try searching by that title of the article. If I have that title wrote down somewhere, or if I had to print it out, I can search for it. I can also search by the authors, or make some attempt to search the way that I did originally. If this is the first time coming across this, uh, I'm going to show you a couple of things. So first of all, if I click on the article, we'll just find one here at random. It really doesn't matter what it's about. We'll go with this one. Why do consumers make green purchase decisions? If I click on that article, you notice it does say full text PDF, uh, HTML full text. Uh, Hopefully you're searching by full text. If not, you may end up with a screen that looks something like this, and then you can't really do anything more because you don't have that full text. But from this screen, if you want to cite something, one of the things that you can do, off on the right hand side, you'll see a number of options to print, to send it to your email, and then the cite feature. So if you click on the cite feature here, that brings up some pre-generated citations. All we have to do is look for the style that we're using. So some classes may use APA. We're going to be using MLA, so I just have to look for MLA. Once I find it down here, now it says works cited because that's the title of our bibliography. And then I'm going to copy this, and you'll notice that these may or may not be entirely accurate. So we're just going to look at them closely here. I'm going to guess this is the individual's last name, first name. We have two authors, um, so this should be formatted according to two authors. We have the title of the article, and we have the title of the journal right here. We have the volume and issue number, the date of publication, and then this thing here, this EBSCO host. This is the database that's coming from, along with the link how to get back to this. So I could just simply copy this and then paste that into my essay. Now, if imagine for whatever reason I can't get here, the student says they have the PDF, they don't have really they can't seem to find their way back here. They have this PDF. So we're going to take a look at the PDF real quick. Uh, Imagine then that you've printed this out. This is what you're looking at. To generate the citation for this is going to be very similar. It's You're going to have to do a little bit more work than just copy paste, but again, you would cite this as a two author source. So usually somewhere towards the top of this, we're going to see the author's names. So you want to go with the last name, first name, and then first name, last name in the case of two authors. Then after that, we're going to put the title of the article, and that should be in quotation marks. So right at the very, very top of the paper, why do consumers make green purchase decisions? Insights from a systematic review. This is our title. Then we want to put the title of the container. That's the name of the journal or magazine, or where this particular article is published. In this case, we can find that name right at the very top, International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health. All of this would be italicized because it's a larger publication. Then, if we can, we in this case, since it's a journal, it's most likely periodical. It's published. It's most likely to have a volume and issue number. If we can find that somewhere in this PDF or this document, we would want to include that. As I scroll through this, I'm not seeing Um, it's not going to be buried in this text. It's probably going to be somewhere towards the top or the very bottom. Um, it may be the very first couple pages or the very last couple pages. But ultimately, as I scroll through this, I'm just not seeing that volume and issue number. Now, what I could do when I cite this, if I really wanted to try to include that, which technically I should try to put as much information in there as possible. Um, I could simply take this title, copy this title, and do a Google search. And when I search on Google, I'm going to be looking for this article and see if I can find um, another database that tells me that it comes from this journal and gives me the volume and issue number. Now, if I can't do that, or if I can't find that through Google, um, then you just work with what you have. If you don't have the volume and issue number, then you're just going to skip that. We're going to go down to the very next thing, the next available piece of information that you have. In this case, we would want to go to the date. We want to stick the date in there. Uh, and then if you know the database where you get it from, put that. If you know the the DOI number or the web address, you would put that as well. You'll see kind of down at the very bottom here, there is a DOI number, and DOI basically this is it's like a web address, but it's specific for a database. Uh, so I'm not going to get into really how to track that down, but you could type that out as well. So if we do that and we go back and compare this to the citation that this thing gives us, uh, we'll see that we have a lot of the same stuff. We have the name of the authors, the title of the article, the title of the publication. We would be skipping the volume and issue number because I couldn't find that. However, I would have the date. What was that? So here it says accepted, published in September. We're not looking at worrying so much about the retrieve, this accepted. We're looking for a published date. So the September 2020. Uh, Notice they have September 11th here, so we would want to try to include that as well. We wouldn't have that EBSCO host because I couldn't find that just on the PDF, but I did find at the very bottom here, I did find that DOI number, and then that matches up with the citation here. So a lot of the same stuff. That's just if all you have is the PDF and nothing else, a little bit more legwork than just simply clicking on that citation. But overall, pretty easy. Just go with the information that you have available to you. And if you don't have it, uh, try to locate some of it, maybe by copying the title, the name of the authors, or the publication, and just doing a Google search. But don't spend a lot of time on this. Don't rack your brain over it. Uh, Keep it simple, but give us as much information as we can if we want to go back and find it for future reference.